Hiya, morning hustlers, welcome back to the channel. I'm Candy, one half of Candy and Kelly, and you are watching our journey as we attempt to break free from the system as much as possible and build a frugal homestead from scratch. We've done a lot of videos on kind of the renovation and the van stuff when we lived in the van, and we did a few van trips, and about how we've broken free from the 9 to 5, the corporate world, and we're attempting to do what we're doing. I've spoken quite a bit about prepping and being prepared, and that we're into that type of thing as well, which I do think goes hand in hand with a homesteading life, if I'm completely honest. Now, hit me up in the comments if you disagree, or if you do agree. It'll be great to hear what other people think. But today, and I've promised this for a little while, I thought I would show a little bit of our prepper pantry, which you can see behind me. Now, I wanted to speak a little bit about this in terms of prepper pantries, right? A lot of people have a lot of things stored and prepped and ready to go. Ours is minuscule compared to a lot of people, and probably quite substantial compared to some as well. Now, the difference with our prepper pantry is essentially become our pantry. So what happened was, and this is not a new thing for us, I think I've said that before. So we used to prep at our old house. We had quite a big garage, and we split that in half and had one half as like a workshop and the other half was sort of for preps essentially. And actually, I don't know if I've got any, but I will try and find some old photos or little videos or little clips of what we used to have and try and get them in. I'll put them in this video here so you can see. Hopefully I can find some. But you know, you think of preppers and you think of like weirdos and people that kind of take themselves away from society and prepping for the apocalypse. And we've had those comments, you know, even from people that are really close to us. Oh, the zombies are coming, you're prepping for the zombie apocalypse. No, I've said this before, you can prep for any eventuality, and actually I think it's quite prudent to prep because you never know what's around the corner. It's always good to have a good stock of stuff, not just food, although I'm primarily going to focus on the food and what we've got in the pantry today. There are other items that we prep. I'm not going to go into too much at the moment because I'll probably share those later down the line, but also some of the things that, you know, we've already put into place, like this house. I mean, we're quite spoilt really, because we were lucky that we had the equity from our old house to not only purchase this property outright, so we're mortgage free, but we were able to get it to a really good standard that we're quite comfortable in here now. And I know that there's people out there that are probably thinking, oh, you keep moaning, you've got everything, you don't need everything. I'm not moaning at all. I know how hard we've worked to get to where we are. And the initial project was essentially going to be that we was going to live in a bedroom and we're going to be using our savings to live on. But we've budgeted and we've planned and we've prepped. So we've been able to get quite a substantial amount of the work done. And that includes future-proofing the house, right? So I've said a million times we've had all the plumbing redone. Although we have still got an issue with the water pipe, obviously. Well, it's not an issue at the moment, but it does need doing properly. So that's been fixed. All the new plumbing, we've had a toilet put in upstairs. We've had all the electrics, the whole house is completely rewired, including sockets put on the outside and lighting put on the outside as well. And we've got our log burner, which means that we'll be able to control not only our budget, but we'll be able to control if there's any power cuts and stuff like that. We'll be able to have logs to burn wood to be warm in the winter and stuff like that. How many times am I going to say stuff like that? I'm not going to say it again. But also, like I say, a homesteading life is being prepared and we're getting our ground prepared outside, ready for next season to start growing, and we're going to be smashing it in the garden. And you can probably tell, talking of garden, the old faithful is out again, which means it's lawn day today again. Trying to do it once a week where I can. It does take a while. It's quite a big bit of lawn. But we're going to take down some of the weeds that are at the back in the farmer's field. We have put some weed killer on those and they're really gone down a lot compared to, there's a couple of houses up and you can see the weeds. No, I'm not even exaggerating, they've got to be up to here. So I'm quite pleased with what we've done with ours, and the weed and feed is really working on the grass. So the lawn is going really well, but I'm going to crack on with that after I've spoken to you. Just talking a little bit about prepping, like I say, this pantry is not extensive whatsoever. We are starting again from scratch, essentially. So we've used a lot of our preps. Now, that was what I was saying about prepping for any eventuality. We didn't know what we're prepping for, but we know something was going to happen. I think we were changing our moods and changing our mindset, and we always like to have a good stock anyway. So what we've got left there was part of our initial prepper pantry, and now we've worked that right down. Obviously keeping an eye on dates and use by dates and stuff. I'm not funny with things like that. I'm quite open to using things out of date if they seem all right. But that's essentially got us through this situation. So we're so grateful that we put all the work in beforehand. We must have known that this is where we was going to end up, because we've now got a wonderful bit of land, a wonderful homestead that we're building from scratch, and we've still got the remnants of our prepper pantry. But the exciting thing is, well, you can say exciting, nervousness, I don't know. But we've worked our pantry down to that, and we had so much stuff. That's sustaining us, and that's topping up our food shopping. So we're able to keep our food budget down. But I'm just going to sort of go through and show you what sort of stuff we've got left, where we're going to focus on bringing up to a higher level going forward. Obviously, you need money for that, and that's another topic that I'm not going to go into today. You know, we're just cracking on and doing what we can do on a very, very low budget with our savings, okay? So we feel like we're future-proofing. We know we've still got jobs around to do in the house. A lot of painting. We're saving those for the winter. We're concentrating on the bits that we can do that are better in this weather. And plans for this week on the homestead, before I show you that. So this week, obviously, we're concentrating on the garden. We've been doing a lot of life admin. So we've been going through kind of changing over details, changing over dates, going through our budget, sorting out car insurance, car tax, all that type of stuff, that is all those bits that you put off that they absolutely need doing. So we've been concentrating on all of that. And the good news is we're only a couple of days behind on videos now. Do you remember when we was like 5 or 6 weeks behind? It was so hard to manage the timelines and what you guys were seeing. But, so you'll be seeing this video on Sunday, and I'm filming this now, I think it's Tuesday. So we've got Kel's family, so her sister, brother-in-law and our niece, plus Kel's mum and dad are coming up for the weekend. So as you'll see in this video, they would have already been here, but we're going to use it as an opportunity to have a couple of days off. We need it really. There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's nice. And remember that saying that I said that my amazing grandma always used to say, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. And we have been working non-stop. We just need a couple of days out. Nothing kind of fancy. It's going to be good to see people. I think the weather looks good. It's a pretty warm one today. I'm actually pretty sweating in this. We're going to head down to the beach, have a little mooch around the arcade. So you don't, like those things, you spend as little or as much as you want, and we want to spend little, so we're not going to spend a lot. And I think I'm going to crack out probably one of my famous carbonaras for everyone. And then I think the next day, so they're only coming up for 2 days, the next day I think we're going to go out and venture out and see if we can find somewhere, nice little place for the day. I might even film some of it and share it with you, I'm not sure yet. But so we've got a big house clean to do as well. All bedding washed and changed over, bathroom clean, floor cleaned, everywhere. So it's pretty busy this week. It seems to be busy every week that I talk to you. But before I get to the pantry, I just want to show you one thing. Okay, bear with. Right guys, this is what I wanted to show you before the pantry. You know how happy I've been about my new kitchen. See the kitchen worktop there. Look at these. The shelves have arrived. I am so buzzing with those. They're like really like farmhousey. I'm sure people that got farmhouses are probably looking at these thinking, nah, they're not, mate. But they are to me. So the kitchen is almost done. You can have a look there. Also, you can't really see it, but behind those boxes there, we put our own bit of skirting. Well, you can see it a little bit there. We put our leftover bit of skirting in ourselves, and we boxed in the waste pipe. So yeah, I'm really happy. I've got all my nice bits. Start cracking on, and yeah, right. Let's get to the pantry, which everyone's been asking about. so here's the pantry. I don't know how best to say this, but as you can see, it's a bit of a tip. Does need arranging. It's not in any particular order. Nothing is stored. Well, there's a few little bits that, like, you know, I've kind of kept tins together and some rice sachets together and stuff like that. But remember, we are completely beginning again at the start. We are starting from scratch, not only with building this frugal homestead, but with our preps essentially. Now, I know we're lucky to have this amount of food already in, and I'm sure there's people out there that don't have that amount of food. But for us personally, this is a low level of what we've got on the shelves, and it is amazing how much this has been sustaining us and, you know, helping to build up. We're using this on the daily, so this is essentially our food stock at the moment, and we are topping it up. We are adding things and making sure that we've got stuff that we kind of like. And I think I want to say that actually, because when we first got into prepping, we watched preppers on YouTube and on socials and stuff like that, and we was like, right, we need to prep that, we need to prep that, we need to prep that. We had so much stuff, and we actually thought, are we actually going to eat that? Don't even like that. Why are we prepping that? And we just got into the cycle of stuff that had a long date. We want to prep for it. We want to get it because it lasts long, but we probably won't ever eat it. So we readjusted our system and we started only buying stuff. Go figure. We started only buying stuff that we liked and that we was going to eat, and stuff that's got good dates on it. So up the top, let me show you. So there's mainly like crackers. We've got some pastry mixes there, some protein powder, marshmallows, purely because I want to do a little fire pit and I want to get that stuff. I want to get that out there. Maybe this weekend if the weather's nice. So that's really at the top, and my system for at the top has essentially been stuff that I'm hardly going to use, so I just shove it up there. So you can see it's a complete mess. Some tins at the back there. What I've noticed with stuff like this, so this is some protein powder. I've actually, in another cupboard, which I'm not going to go into because it's just got the cat food and stuff in it, but there's some other flavoured protein powders like chocolate brownie that we've got. We've got strawberry, and I think just plain chocolate. And I've been Googling some recipes that you can actually use these, and I'm sure, I know I'm new to this, so I'm sure everyone knows this. You can actually use that type of stuff in baking. So that's what's sort of up there. Like, you know, there's some stuff that we're not going to use as much. Some matzo crackers. There's actually some spring roll papers there, which I want to start using. And then as we get down to more eye level, we can see it's stuff. Now this shelf is probably more the regular used shelf. And as you can see, like I say, let me, if I get that right, nothing's really in any particular order. So here we have in this pot, now these noodles, udon noodles, we've got yakisoba noodles, and we get these, well, we did get them, I think I've mentioned before, from the Asian shop that was near us where we used to live. And every time we nip back, we do sort of get stuff from there as well. And this is all like your seasoning sachets. So sausage casserole, this is one of my faves. So you can either use it, I've used seasoning like this on chips before, but it's great for chicken, and we really do like kind of grilled chicken with any type of rice or potatoes or salad or anything like that, and it's so nice in the summer. Some other ones, some taco seasoning, so just like noodles and seasonings basically. That's another pack of noodles there. Noodles is probably one of our favourite foods, to be fair. Now these are your rice sachets. They're not for everyone. We do have like kind of normal rice as well. But these are just all the sachets. We don't always get Uncle Ben's, just sometimes when they're on offer. Obviously there's some Aldi ones there, some Mexican style rice. What else have we got? Some golden vegetable rice. And then we've got some spaghetti in there. Apple cider vinegar. Now we use that sometimes if I do some pickling. I haven't done that here, I will say, but that's just followed us from house to house. Dumpling mixes, you know, these can bulk up any kind of savoury stew or anything like that in the winter. Some more pastas behind. We've got some pesto, we've got some dips, curry pastes, panko breadcrumbs. Actually, some of this is a bit dusty. We've got some aubergine dip there, some coconut oil, honey, obviously that lasts forever basically, and then we've got some more jars and stuff here, just like pastry sauces. Yeah, like these make big batches as well. Some more pesto, some stir-through sauces and stuff. And I'm sorry, has anyone had this? That curry sauce mix there, the Mayflower one, is my absolute fave. It's so simple. It's not like so I do like cooking, and I do like the idea of, you know, spending all day preparing a meal, spices and stuff like that, and getting your curry done and it's ready by the end of the day. However, there is a need sometimes for a quick meal, and that curry sauce is beautiful. Just whip that up with some chicken and rice, and that's it. Sometimes if I'm feeling fancy, I'll add mushrooms and peas to it, but you know, sometimes I'm not. And then we go down to the next shelf. So I've got some more apple cider vinegar there. I swear by this as well, from Aldi. It's so nice in stir fries. And just if you want to marinate some chicken, I really recommend that. We've also got a kind of sesame seeds, some Kewpie mayo. This is my favourite as well. Some hoisin. I love that. That really adds a lot of flavour to anything. Got some passatas. Just some random bits, really. Salt. Some butter. Right, this is the thing. Butter beans. That is one of the things that's left over from the bits that we bought that we don't really eat, and we've got quite a few of them. Let me just have a reach in. So I'm looking for recipes with butter beans. I'm sure we like them, but I've never really made a meal with them, and we've got quite a few tins of those. I've seen online that you can do like a tomato ragu with spinach and butter beans in it, and then you just like dip some sourdough bread. That sounds divine, doesn't it? So I might have a go at that. I know there's some butter bean salads you can do as well. So we'll see. That might come into a repertoire at some point. And then some pickles and some jams and some sauces. Honey, we tend to use that every day with granola and fruit and yoghurt. Some white miso. Do people cook with that? That's got a real umami flavour to it, so we like adding that to stuff. We've obviously got the obligatory coconut milk. We've got a few tins of those. There's a few tins of beans in there. Butter beans again, strike again. Now we've got a few tins of this, right? I'm not really one, well, I didn't think I was one for tinned meat, but corned beef, you can't go wrong. Kel's got me onto that. I didn't really like it before. I don't even think I had it before. But I got straight into that and I really liked it. And I think I've got another tin. I can't, let me see. I wanted to say, so this, hang on. You might think, oh, bacon in the tin, it's disgusting. Right, it's not something that we use regularly. However, as part of a prep, it gives you a kind of a protein hit. And I tried it the other day because I thought, look, if we're going to start prepping with this, then we need to start figuring out how we're going to use it. And you remember I said I made a crispy potato salad? Well, what I did was I got that out of the tin, chopped it up into tiny little bits and just fried it off in a little bit of olive oil. Oh my God, it was crispy bacon. You would not think that's out of a tin. And like I say, we use regular bacon primarily, but that just as a change to intersperse and start rotating some of the preps that are coming up for date, that was bloody beautiful. And then yeah, so if we go back, just got some chopped tomatoes, some lasagna sauces and some more coconut milk. There's a bag of pasta there as well. We go down to the next level. This is not really food related, I suppose. There's some vegetable oil, which we don't really use. Some flour, got some orzo. This, we just got this from Costco. As you can see, I made my homemade pancakes the other day with some double cream that I had to use up. However, this is yet to be opened, but that lasts for a long, long time and it is really lovely. We've got some rice there, basmati rice. And then I guess talking of rice, if we go down to the next shelf. So here are some big bags there. big bags of basmati rice. We've got some big bags of rice noodles as well. And then loads more rice, because we do tend to eat a lot of rice. You can probably tell that we're quite partial to a carb, to be fair. So, that is what we're dealing with at the moment. Like I say, any preppers watching, you're probably going to be thinking, that's just a food cupboard, that is not a prepper pantry. You're probably right. At the minute, it's not the level we'd like it to be, but this has been our active prepper pantry because we needed a situation. We didn't need a situation. We had a situation that we needed to use our preps for. And this is what I want to reiterate. We're not planning for the end of the world, although the way the world is going at the moment, who knows? I'm sure there's a lot more coming down the line that we don't realise. Again, that's another video. I could talk for hours on all the conspiracy. Are they really conspiracy theories that I'm kind of aligned to and that I'm kind of aware of? Anything could be happening. So prepping is at the heart of what we're doing at the moment, and which is why we wanted to get off grid. Look, I say off grid as in away from the system. We're never going to be off grid. We're always going to be. We still like some of the trappings of the system, but we want to do it on our term. And we're sort of in that limbo phase where I'm showing you bits and bobs and talking to you about plans, and there's not really much more we can do on that at the moment because the garden needs to be ready, and that is going to be next season. We've sort of missed the growing season now, apart from the triplets who are doing really well. We've got 3 pointy peppers coming out now, which I'm really pleased with. So that is the prepper pantry. Obviously, alongside that, we've got some bottles of water that we store under the stairs. We have got, so you've seen the fridge. Let me just show you the freezer. It's absolutely packed. It's absolutely packed out. We do use the full trays that we kind of, if we cook a dinner, we normally tend to make extra. So we put that in the freezer, and then that's another quick, easy meal. So you're essentially making your own convenience meals, which when we're going to be working on the land, they're going to be really helpful because you're not going to be want to cook. You're not going to want to be doing cooking when you get back to the house. You know, it's going to be a lot of hard work. So I guess that's another prepping scenario that we're planning for. We know that we're going to be busy. We know that we're going to be doing a lot of manual labour. We know that it's going to be hard work. And although I do love cooking, sometimes you just want to grab something. So we're doing a lot like that. What we also do to keep funds down as well, which is so easy to do, and probably why I'm so fat, is that we used to have quite big portions, and I've really worked hard to cut our portions down. So what I do now, if I make a big batch cook, I do a big batch, I dish up a lunch for the next day for us first, and then we have what's remaining for the dinner, where we just used to have it all for dinner basically. But so that's where we're changing our mindset a little bit. And yeah, so that's what we've got at the minute. We're aiming to increase that quite substantially. I don't know how much and when, but we're topping up, we're rotating. That is our pantry at the moment. Obviously, other things to prep for other than food, we're going to need to start thinking about our logs, because everyone's telling us this is the best time of year to get them because you wait till winter and then the price is through the roof. So we're going to be sorting that out. We need to get onto that. I need to get onto the garden. It's like there's lots of bitty things that we're doing, but we're beginning at the start. We're at the start again. We're beginner preppers again, and that just goes to show that no matter how much or how little you have, everything comes in handy. We're not throwing anything away. We're reusing. We're upcycling. We are just on it. And I said on the last couple of videos ago that motivation is at an all-time high. It absolutely is. And on the last video where you saw me working through that glut of apples, amazing. We wouldn't have had the time to do that before, but we're able to make a couple of meals out of it. Not meals, but you know, like some apple crumbles and some apple pies. Actually, I did say that I might show you those, didn't I, when they're done. So what I did, you can't really see them, I've got them in bags. I don't know if you can actually see them properly. Hang on, let me get this bag outside. Can you see those? So they are frozen. And basically, when you want one, you just take it out of the freezer and you just fry it off. And then you've got an apple pie, and I followed a YouTube tutorial which said it tasted like McDonald's, a hot apple pie. So I got about 8 of those out of that batch of apples as well. I got 3 crumbles, and that was pretty good, you know, just a bag of 3 apples. So we're utilising everything, and again, we're choosing to live like this. I don't want people to feel sorry for us that we're having to make these changes, whereas we used to live on Uber Eats and stuff like that. Our life has dramatically changed, and a future video is what I want to do is how other people react to how we're changing as well, which is really interesting. But today was focusing on the prepper pantry. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. You can probably think, why the hell have I got some WD-40 in my kitchen? Actually, my dad gave me this tip. So, you know, when you get stainless steel in like our fridge, I don't know if you can see at the moment, we've got all fingerprints, and on our backsplash as well. A little bit of WD-40 on a duster. Oh, they come up a tree, sparkling. So, as you can tell, that's part of our cleaning regime this week. But thank you for watching. You've seen the prepper pantry now. Hopefully next time that's going to get bigger and bigger. I might show you it again in the future. So we've got the racking in the kitchen still, because we haven't seen a kind of pantry unit that we like. So don't mind it on the racks. You can see what you've got. It's pretty industrial, which is pretty cool. So maybe one day there'll be a pantry in there. But at the minute, no, we're sticking with the racking. So I really appreciate everyone following along. A little bit different. You're seeing the more preparedness side of what we're doing. But we are going to continue to prep. We're going to continue to get this homestead ready, and we hope that you all follow along and continue to join us on this journey. So thank you very much, hustlers, and I will catch you on the next one.